Hey guys, you got Christina Gilchrist here, also known as the Dialysis Warrior Blindchick, and I'm here with my Moosey boy, my Moose the Pomsky service dog, and...
Hey, what about me?
Oh yeah, Michael Gilchrist is here.
The caretaker.
And this is Living on Dialysis podcast.
And this is a disclaimer. We are not doctors. This is just the opinion of Living on Dialysis Facebook group. And always follow up any advice you have with your team and your doctors. And again, this is just an opinion. So if you don't like it, tell me yours. Bye.
Hey guys, it's Christina.
And Michael.
And this is Living on Dialysis. And today we have a very fun guest because we're going to hear a story that I haven't heard before, so I'm pretty excited about. We have Lisa Munns here. How are you doing, Lisa?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Doing excellent.
And a little bit about Lisa. We actually went to school pretty much our whole life. And I've known her ever since I was a kid. And so, in fact, when I was first a single parent with Sadie, she was a single parent as well, and we just kind of bounced ideas off each other and how we were handling it. And so, and then I found out her story about donating and stuff like that, which was, we wanted to share. So.
Awesome. Okay, Lisa, let's hear your story.
All right. So basically when Mike and Christina reached out, they wanted me to kind of share the why I started donating and how and just details of the donation process. So feel free to ask me questions as they come up if you guys get any.
All right, we will.
So probably the idea started way back when, of course you always hear the commercials about donation process when you go to apply for a driver's license. It's one of the questions, but back probably, I'm mid-40s, and back when I was getting my driver's license, there wasn't a whole lot of information on life donation. It was more, to be a cadaver donation. So... But luckily, I met a friend, a coworker at my employment. I work for the government, and he actually had donated his kidney. And I will say it's one of those things that you just know you're going to do. For me, I should say for me, because obviously every story is different. Some people it's because they have a family member. But for me, it was just something I knew I wanted to do. As soon as I heard about it, probably had a lot to do with the fact that I am one of those people always trying to look for ways to do things for others. And
so was also, was he an anonymous donor as well?
Yes, he was.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All
right.
Right.
They call it a good Samaritan donor.
Awesome.
Yeah, he
That's
was.
incredible.
So. And if you meet him, he's another good one to have on your thing because he has an incredible story. But he is awesome and very inspiring. So he had shared his story shared through a email that went out that highlights employees. And so reading his story, I was inspired, of course, and it was just kind of a little nudge along the way of like, there's really no way, you can call it divine intervention. You can call it just something, maybe your destiny or something that you just know you're going to do. Because when you talk to a lot of people, honestly, the reaction I got was, you're crazy.
Yeah,
I did get that a lot.
Yeah.
Especially when they're like, well,
why are you giving up something that works totally fine in you? So, yeah, I totally get that.
Right. Yeah, so it was kind of one of those things that you didn't share too much. I'd started the donation process. You fill out a questionnaire, they contact you. And that was actually several years ago, and then things just kept coming up. So maybe just not the right time, right? Like I am one of those that truly believes that everything happens for a reason, and you're kind of guided in the direction you're supposed to. So I kind of just kept putting on hold. And then, of course, as Michael had mentioned, I was a single parent. And then I met my husband. Well, he's my husband now. And when I told him that I had this idea that I wanted to donate, he was not on board. He just couldn't fathom the idea that I would put myself at risk to just donate my kidney to anyone.
Yeah,
that
would be really hard as a spouse, because of course he adores you, and
yes,
I'm sure he was on board with you doing something so incredible, but not risking your life in the process.
Correct. Yes, that is absolutely true. So, so that kind of put it on hold, I would say, honestly. And it was always in the back of my mind that I just knew that one day I would. I didn't know why or when, or I just knew I would. But obviously I'd have to give him time to maybe get used to the idea. And it actually happened. So we were over at a friend's house, and the friend, and this was supposed to be my intended recipient, they had mentioned that he was in kidney failure. And immediately, I guess like most people do, not really, but I was like, well, I'll donate. And I remember her reaction. She's like, no, you don't say stuff like that unless you're actually going to follow through.
Yeah, it's so true. I actually had people tell me, just random people, oh my gosh, I'll give you a kidney. But it's totally just like, it's just something they say in the moment, and there's no follow through. So you just know not to take them serious.
Correct. Right. And that, I guess she had been, so he was actually had gotten a liver before, and he had another kidney donation before. Yeah. And so the second kidney was failing after, 15, 20 years. And so maybe they had gone through that process before, and they had gone through family members, and those family members didn't want to donate, or they hesitated to test because same risks, right?
Yeah, of course.
So anyway, I just told him, I'm serious. I've thought about this. I knew that I was going to, and I'd be more than happy to. Well, of course, they went back the next day and talked to they have somebody that they work with, their coordinator at the hospital. And told them, hey, we have somebody that would be interested in donating. So they sent me a link. The hospital had got my information from them. They sent me a link. I went online, filled out the application, their medical history, mostly medical history, but they also want to know the social aspects, the financial aspects.
Yeah.
All of that, because, as I've learned too, there's so much more to it than just the medical part.
There really is.
Yes. As you know, you have to have that support system behind you.
Yeah.
And not easy, for sure. It takes a village, so.
And it's a lot of time off work, and there's a lot that's involved in it that you don't initially think of. But once you get into that process, you realize that, yeah, you're gonna have to make some plans.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, and luckily with us, here in Utah, we're so fortunate because we have 2 kidney donation centers within 50 miles. You know? So we really, really are blessed to have something so close and available to us, because I've learned that it's a lot harder for people out of state that don't have local access to the different centers that they're going to be donating at, or where.
So true. I've heard
transplant's going to take place.
I've met people up at transplant when I've been up there that have drove 8, 9, 10 hours just to get to a hospital to be seen.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be seen, and then you have to do testing, and then of course, as you know, when you donate, you have to stay for. Yeah. I think my recipient, it was about 4 weeks after that she actually had to stay here in Utah.
Usually 4 to 6 weeks, and you're just doing lab after lab after lab.
Yep. Yes. So anyway, I started the process. They actually, it happened pretty quick as far as, all the testing. And I never realized how extensive the testing would be. I had no idea. The first time I went in to give blood, I think they took 20 vials. Yeah. It was a lot. And then, of course, you have to collect I don't even know how many, 2 big jugs full of urine for 2 days. It's a 24-hour collection, and turn that in, and and then once that gets cleared, because they're looking to see, that your organs are working and you have good kidneys and output. I mean, there's so much that factors into it.
And that you're going to be safe only having one kidney.
Yes. And she told me that up front. My transplant coordinator told me that from the get-go is in the end, yes, of course, we're really excited to be, that you're interested in giving your kidney, but it's to our best interest to make sure that down the road, we're not going to have to come back and have to get you another one.
Yeah.
And your life, is first at hand because you're willing to risk your life to give somebody else another chance. So, yes, very, very intrusive testing that went on. And I remember they had found some crystallizations or something. I don't even remember. It's been a couple years, but they found some crystallizations. So they even ordered I think it's called a PET scan or PET scan.
Oh, yeah.
Just to check for the possibility. Yeah, to check for the possibility that I might, am I at risk for developing cancer in the future? And is there any other threats to my body? They also do a CAT scan. They do a heart test. I also have white collar syndrome, which is, you get high blood pressure when you go into the doctor due to nerves and stress.
Yeah.
And so they sent me home with a blood pressure monitor to wear for, I want to say it was maybe 3 days. I think it was 3 days, just to make sure that I don't really have high blood pressure, because that is one of the risks when you donate, is your blood pressure may go up.
Yeah, of course.
So again, whole lot of testing. And then when I got my part done, of course, and I don't know where you're at in the whole process, but on the recipient end, they're also doing a lot of testing because they have to go through the same exact testing.
There are so many hoops.
There's so many hoops, and there's like so many tests every year. We're actually on the list right now, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we know all the hoops and all that stuff.
Yes.
So.
Well.
All right. So when did you get the phone call that you were lined up and it was a go?
So that's where my story is just a little bit different. So we were a match. It came time that they went through. They tested and not even just a blood match, but also that they tested the antigens to make sure that it wouldn't reject my kidney.
Yeah.
And so when we went in to schedule a date, they met with there's a panel there at the hospital that they review all the cases just to make sure you're good to go. And there was a question on something that they had found on his. And so they decided that they would remove his native kidney to put mine in. So he still had the 2 kidneys, the one of his native kidney and then the one that they had put in. So they decided that they would take both kidneys out to put mine in.
Okay.
And so when they took it out, they found cancer on his kidney.
Oh my goodness.
So that, I think, like I said, my story has been a lot more unique, I think, compared to most, and I would say challenging. It was really, really frustrating, but, because I've done all the work, all the testing, all that time.
That's actually amazing that you were a match to a stranger that already had a transplant, which makes it even extra hard to be a match.
Because these antibodies.
That's just amazing that that one of your friends happened to be needing a kidney and you actually matched. That's incredible. That's phenomenal. So and then
so when the
to find out cancer, that's
coordinator. Yeah, when they called, she says, this has come up, and they had already told me because they can't give any information on the patient, but obviously we had an open line. But they said, hey, that he can't do the surgery. They made him wait 2 years. So they said he can't receive a kidney for
my.
2 years. So she said, you have two choices. She said, you can either actually technically three, but she says you can just withdraw, and then in 2 years you can decide if you want to donate, or if you want to go ahead and donate because you've already been cleared, you've done all the testing, you're prepared. Like we were maybe 3 weeks out from the date.
Wow.
And she said, you can go ahead and donate to a stranger, as a Good Samaritan's donation, and then we'll give him a voucher that when he is eligible, he can go in and he gets bumped up to the top of the list.
Okay, so yeah, you did the chain donation then. So
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So, and it was like a delayed chain, right?
Yeah.
Right. It's like kind of like 1 for 1, but we're gonna give you credit because this person did.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And I gave it so much thought and prayer, and I am telling you, it was not an easy decision to make, because of course they wanted me to wait, but there was no guarantee that in 2 years he could still get one. Plus, there was no guarantee also that we would still be matched, because he was getting blood transfusions.
Yeah, it changes
so
all
much
of
could
that.
change.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so in 2 years I could go back and retest, or even my health could decline. So after that, I figured I'm going to do this now. I'm going to go ahead and do this now, so that he's guaranteed a kidney in 2 years, whether my health has declined or not, or whether I'm still alive or not. You just never know.
Right.
Yeah, that's still pretty amazing. He's guaranteed a kidney in 2 years, so that's
Okay.
phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
So you went ahead and donated. How was
I
your
did.
recovery after you donated?
So the first 24 hours, about the first 24 hours were really, really rough, because they do a general anesthesia, which I guess I just didn't handle too well stomach-wise. So I think I vomited like 16 times in the first 12 hours.
Wow.
And as you can imagine, they cut your stomach muscles in half,
Yeah.
and you're missing an organ, so everything's pulling in that space that's now empty, and it was awful. Probably the worst I've ever felt in my life. And I remember laying there thinking, almost kind of that regret of, and I had made up my mind before, no matter what happens, I know I need to do this. I know I'm doing this the right thing. And, you just kind of have to have that mind frame that, you're all in. But for a brief moment, I was like, oh my gosh. And it was more my husband I was so worried that he was that I had let him down kind of in a way, as far as, here I am. I told him to trust me, that everything would be fine, and now this is all. And I know it was hard for him to have to see me that way, but
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you have this healthy body, and
Yes.
that's hard on you. You didn't know what it felt like before to have some massive surgery and the recovery. That's got to be hard.
right.
So
Well, and like they say that if you're the recipient, you go into the hospital and you're sick. You are super, super sick. So as soon as you get that kidney, you're doing great.
And it's true.
Your quality of life goes up instantly.
It is
Right.
true.
Where
You
donor,
feel,
it's the opposite.
yeah, the recipient, you feel so much better.
did your friend eventually get a kidney?
Yeah, so
Okay. Awesome.
I donated to a lady. I got to meet her in the hospital.
You did
We
get
just
to
met
meet
briefly.
her.
We did. We
That-
did.
that's
yes.
amazing.
And he 2 years later, he became eligible, and he was finally able to get a kidney. So
How is he doing
again,
now?
a whole lot of weird things. I have one of those just really unique things that I don't even know, how much in detail you want, but I would do it again in a heartbeat.
Awesome.
Oh, that's incredible.
That is amazing. And so basically, we're going to kind of wrap things up, but I just want to say that is freaking amazing that you did a donation. Right now, we're in the process, and I'm going to be tested and all that stuff. And if I can't donate to her, we'll do the chain as well. And that is just phenomenal that you would do it for basically a stranger.
And I have a quick question for you. Did you stay in touch with her? Do you know how she's doing?
Yeah, so that She did great. The kidney did wonders for her. She had 3 really good quality years of life. But unfortunately, she got COVID, and she ended up passing away this last year. And that was really hard for me because, you become attached. That becomes a part of you. And, and her mother informed me that she, that the kidney, even the doctor said the kidney was good and strong up until the end. So it didn't let her down. It wasn't the reason why she passed away.
Yeah.
There was other, health, it was mostly due to oxygen and everything. But, unfortunately it doesn't have that happy ending, but she got 3 years of life,
3 years when you're a kidney patient.
And,
yeah, 3 years when you're a kidney patient is almost like a lifetime.
Right.
Especially when you're living dialysis day by day by day. So
yes,
my brother,
you know all too well.
My brother gave me a kidney, and I rejected it, and I had to have it removed. And so I'm like you. You don't expect to have it go the other way. And so it was hard when my brother's kidney got removed, and my mom says, well, where is it now? Did they just throw it away? And so it was definitely an emotional situation for all of us, and you don't expect it. But honestly, that 3 years that I did get, because I lasted about 3 years with my brother's kidney, that was honestly just, those 3 years were incredible. And it's a gift that he gave me that I'll never forget.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, and I think too, it gives the recipient hope.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have hope because of that process and knowing that somebody would do that for you. But also, most people, I'm sure they know this, but when you donate your kidney, because that was a question I got, well, what if something happens to your other one?
Yeah.
And as a donor, if something were to happen to my other ones, I get bumped to the top of the list.
Yep.
That's good.
Receive one,
which is amazing.
So
yeah.
We go ahead and wrap things up by, this is the first time we've had a guest that wasn't on dialysis, but we'll ask you the same thing. How are you living on dialysis? How are you just living
with having gone through this?
Not a really whole lot of change. Just small side effects. I can't take anti-inflammatories, or I have to monitor things a lot more careful and try to be conscientious, because knowing that I'm a little more at risk than others. But honestly, it doesn't affect my day-to-day life. I would do it all over again if I could. If I had another one to give, absolutely, I would do it. And I would encourage anybody to do it.
That's amazing. Well, on behalf of your recipient, you are incredible, and I'm sure she truly appreciated every single day she got with that kidney.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot. And I wish the very best for you, and in my prayers, I love what you guys are doing for everyone, and just amazing.
Awesome.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. I want to thank Lisa for telling her story, and hopefully we can do some follow-ups later on. And just want to tell you thank you, Lisa, and
thank you.
Keep living on dialysis.
Yeah, thank you for everything. You're amazing.
Good luck. Good talking to you.
All right, so we went and saw at AMC. We used the A-list, and we decided to see Nope this week. We have a mixed review on what we thought about it. So basically, here's the trailer.
Did you know that the very first assembly of photographs to create a motion picture was a 2-second clip of a black man on a horse? And that man is my great-great-grandfather.
Great.
There's another great-grandfather. But that's why back at the Haywood Ranch, as the only black-owned horse trainers in Hollywood, we like to say, since the moment pictures could move, yeah, skin in the game.
it's a bad miracle. You got a word for that?
Yeah, no.
Okay, so that's the trailer, and hate to kind of say it, but that's kind of the best part of the movies. The weirdest thing about this is I thought the effects were amazing throughout the whole thing, but they could have done a lot better on the alien. It was just kind of lame. And then there were other scenes of why the hell did they even put that in there? So it's from Jordan Peele. His first movie, Us, or not Us, but, what was his first movie? Where they hypnotized the people. Dang it, I can't remember the name. But that one was amazing, and I just think he kind of missed the ball on a lot of the stuff, but I thought it was great. Like I said, the alien was kind of funky, but what did you think, Christina?
Nope.
Okay, well, that's basically her review, because she absolutely hated it, and she wished she would have fallen asleep. So, but that was the movie that we watched. See you guys.
Bye.
All right, Holston, what did you think of Nope?
I thought it was very good. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10? Okay, that's being a little bit extreme, but all right. Okay, so what Amber...
What got you, though, Holston? What'd you like about the movie?
I loved the monkey, and I loved, how I guess the one dude just wanted to throw himself thinking that he would survive.
Yeah, that part was pretty cool. Amber and Scott, what did you guys think?
Well, I thought it was cool because I'm totally into terrestrial beings and possible aliens, and so I thought it was kind of creepy. I thought it was good. I don't know if I'd give it a 10 out of 10, but like a 7 out of 10. So out of Charlie horses, what would that be? 2.5?
Yeah.
2 Charlie horses?
Okay, Scott, what did you think?
Well, Scott is not here. It's just me and Holston.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, this past week, I went up to the property with my brother Chris and my nephew Maxton. We did some camping, and I walked a ton. And then we were supposed to learn how to cannulate this week, but somebody messed up the sack. So, Christina?
Well, first of all, I don't know who messed up the sack.
Yeah, it was Christina.
I don't know.
We both know the blind chick messed up the sack.
It's still up for discussion.
And if you don't know what a sack is, it's basically the fluid you need for dialysis. Instead of using it, she drained it.
Whoopsie. So this past week, I had a blast. Me and Tyler went with a good friend of mine, of course, Amber and Clover, and actually I got to go with Amber's whole family. So Scott and Holston were there, and we went to a drag queen show, and of course me and Tyler love drag queens, and we actually knew like 4 of them that were there, and I'm a little excited, and I don't know if I'll ever be able to clean Moose again, because Tyler went up to the stage, and one of our favorites, her name is Cornbread, she actually gave love to Moose. And so, I don't know, we may never be able to watch him again. It was a good moment. And then other than that, I actually had an excellent week. I started a new job, and for me that's a big deal because I have not worked in almost 18 years, and I am now a kidney advocate for U.S. Renal, and you all know how much...
You guys know what that sound is. She's got to do stats because she's doing treatment right now.
Yep, got to push the button.
Go ahead.
But you guys all know how much I love U.S. Renal, and now I get paid to talk about it. So it's kind of a win-win. Yeah.
Okay, so we are talking about. We're going to expand on the conversation we had with Lisa.
Lisa,
that
was wonderful.
And so we are going to be talking about kidney donations. And as you guys know, I do the boring stuff. Christina does the cool stuff. So we'll start off with the history. Is that there were many unsuccessful efforts. The first dog kidney was transplanted in 1903.
Okay, wait a minute. Did you say dog?
Yeah, and this kidney produced a little tiny amount of pee before it died.
Like they put a kidney into a dog.
A dog kidney into a dog, yes.
Aww.
Yeah, so, but it worked for a second, so that was a start. And then in 1939, they transplanted the first cadaveric kidney. If you don't know what cadaveric is, it's basically a donation from somebody that died.
It's a living donor that's actually brain dead, and the body has to still be working and functioning, but it's somebody that's actually already passed on.
Yeah, and from this kidney transplant, the patient only lived for a few days, and the kidney did not take. Unknowingly during this time, mismatching was happening, and you didn't know you needed to be a match.
Oh,
In
no.
1953, a 16-year-old got a kidney from his mother. He was the first patient given anti-rejections.
Oh, wow.
Joseph E. Murphy and his colleague Pete Bent performed the first truly successful kidney transplant from one twin to another. This was done without any immune suppression medication.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, so in 1960, tissue typing advancements, better techniques for matching a donor, recipient blood, tissue types, as well as improvements for preserving cadaveric kidneys were developed.
Wow.
So basically you have to trick your body into thinking that the kidney is your own. You are actually able to re-gift your donated kidney when you die.
Oh my goodness, I've always wondered about that.
Yeah, so in Lisa's case, not all hospitals do it, but her donated kidney could have been donated to another patient.
But but her donated kidney recipient would have to be brain dead.
I would imagine, and they'd have to be a donor and all that stuff because they take ownership of it.
Yeah,
And
I've always said, like, if they want anything, let them have it.
See, and that's something that Jim told us, where when you're younger, you can pick if you want this kidney or not. But when you're at the age of 60, 70, he's like, well,
you take the kidney.
If you're offered one, you take it, because you don't know if you'll get another one.
Which makes perfect sense.
So they say that 25 of transplants could donate again, 25%.
That is a very high percentage.
The fact that we're not using them, I'd love to know which hospitals are and which hospitals aren't, because that could give a ton more kidneys.
Yeah, so, that's pretty impressive.
Now, in some cases, the re-gifted kidney, but when you're older, knowing that, again, if you're offered one, you take one. Yeah. So basically, it's if you pick and choose it depends on your age.
Yeah.
Also, on average, 3,000 people are added to the transplant list daily.
Oh my goodness, no wonder.
Yeah, 13 people die a day while waiting for a transplant.
Oh, that breaks my
heart.
Every
14 minutes, someone is added to the list.
Wow.
And this number is actually lower than I thought, and I verified it in a whole bunch of places, but the average wait time is 3.6 years.
Wow, I think because there's actually a lot of places where that state you can get that organ quickly, and it kind of balances out. Like, I've heard that in California, it's just years.
Yeah, I think a lot of it would be population too.
Yeah, I think that probably has a lot to do with it. And exposure to, do you want to be a living donor? I know that in our state, we actually have an option when we get a driver's license to click to say yes or no. And there are still a lot of states that don't have that option available.
Yeah, I don't know what states push it and what don't, and what what funding they get or they don't, or
Yeah.
but I think every state should up it, because Utah, I think, does a really good job. The Donate Life, pretty much people know what that is.
We are very, very lucky here.
So here's some stats, and these are from 2014. 17,107 transplants took place. 11,570 were cadaveric kidneys,
Wow.
and 5,537 came from living donors.
Wow, that is insane.
So that's all the boring crap. Let's go ahead and find out about the 2 transplants that you had.
All right. Well, you're doing the dialysis
Yeah,
machine.
that beeping was the dialysis, so, but everything's good. Just some high fives because we just hit our target volume.
Woohoo! That means
All
we're
right.
almost done.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and talk about your first kidney and that process and how that took place.
So my first kidney was a living donor, and that process is amazing. When you have a living donor, you get to plan a lot and you get dates. So I was able to be told the exact date we would have the transplant beforehand. And so you can plan around everything. And I think, like, the interesting thing, when I asked my brothers, so I have 8 siblings, and of course the doctors told me to ask my brothers first because males tend to have larger kidneys, therefore they are stronger kidneys. And
okay.
yeah, exactly. Like when you check your creatinine, a female, on average, you want to be 0.6 up to 1.0. That's a really good target area. Well, men, it starts at like 1.1 and goes up from there, which shows there is it's probably not massive, but there's a difference there. So for me, it was hard for me to make those phone calls. And I don't know, I felt a lot of pressure. I felt like I was asking for something so huge. How do you put that into words? And how do you express being grateful that they will actually even be tested? And talking to my brothers, it was really amazing because I really expected a lot of no's. And just because my brothers have kids, they have their own families, and like, yes, they are just wonderful men, but like they have their own needs. And so having my brothers, I have my brother Gary right away said, yeah, I'm going to get tested. And so we initially found out that he was not a match. And my other 2, so I talked to other brothers, and my other 2 brothers, Scott and Brian, and they both went and got tested, and they were both identical matches. So then at that point, the 2 of them had to decide together who was going to be the transplant donor. And it blows your mind, because to have someone say, sure, yeah, I'll go through all of that to give you a kidney, it's insane, and it's a gift that you never forget. And yeah, it's hard to put it into words how you feel knowing someone is willing to do that for you. So other than that, we actually, me and my family had a little get together the night before we did the transplant, and it was really funny. My parents gave us the game Operation, and it was this big joke that we were going in for operation, and so then we went in the next day. And it's really interesting because my brother that gave me the kidney, it was literally the day after his wife's birthday. And so I think it might have been the day. Sorry, Angie, I don't remember exactly. But yeah, so she had to go without because this was important to them. And it just it was amazing. I actually think it was the 10th because she was in the hospital with him. And so she went without for me, and it's just incredible, you know. And so the first transplant, it was good. It was relaxed. It was planned. We all knew, me and my brother had a little get together beforehand. We were going to see who could make it to the other one's room first. And I will admit defeat. My brother got to my room first, and he definitely was all red and exhausted, but he made it. So he won that one.
That's way cool.
Yeah.
And if you're in Utah, there is actually a really cool wall down in Salt Lake. It's the Donation of Life wall. And pretty much everybody that has donated a organ has their name on that wall.
Yeah.
And just a couple years ago, we had Brian's name added because for some reason he wasn't on the registry.
Yep.
And it's supposed to be automatically added, but there was something messed up. So
Yeah.
we went ahead and processed the paperwork to get that added. And actually on our honeymoon, we went and found the names. And my sister's name is on there. My sister that passed away,
was
back
one
when
of
I
the
was-
first donors.
Yeah, and in fact, we have a memorial where in Ogden, it's along the Ogden Parkway, there is a Donation of Life tree. And if you ever walk by it during Christmas time, it is decorated like a Christmas tree.
Yep.
And you'll see Rebecca Gilchrist's name on there. And, you know, it's just a really cool...
A place to go.
Yeah.
Just remember her.
And same with that wall, you
Yeah.
know. And Lisa, if you haven't went down to Salt Lake, go down there and find your name. There's a website where you can type your name in, and it tells you exactly where it is.
Yep.
And if your name isn't on it, I can help you go through the process of getting it added.
Yeah.
So, okay, so how long did your kidney last on that one?
I don't know exactly. I tend to think about 3.5 years.
Okay.
And then I had to have it removed, which obviously when you get a transplant, it's all candy canes and roses and sugar and wonderful. And it is. It truly is such a wonderful process. But there are times where that process ends early and you do have moments maybe of guilt, maybe where you feel you messed up that kidney or the donor feels like they didn't give a good enough kidney. And so I think me and Brian definitely went through a process together where we both felt it was our fault. And I think we just had to keep communicating and letting each other know that that's not the case. That's not something you can possibly do if you're following all the rules. And he had a perfectly good kidney, and so obviously it wasn't on any of our shoulders, but you definitely feel the pressure, and you feel when you talk to people about it, people kind of will tend to judge you a little bit and be like, well, what did you do to kill that kidney?
Yeah, but that's the other thing too, is they don't really exactly know what your disease is.
Yeah.
So when they were, you know, and they were confident that this would fix it.
Yeah.
That your disease wouldn't come back, and unfortunately it did.
Yeah.
But I tend to think that, you know, what could have happened in those 3.5 years? You got 3.5 years
Oh, I did.
of amazing health.
Yes.
And, you know, it gave you opportunity to raise your daughter.
It did. Yeah.
You know, and, you know, you can't put a time or a price on that.
And of course, my brother, because he knew I was holding a lot of guilt, and of course he told me, hey, I don't regret doing it at all. And he says, you got how many years out of it? It was worth every moment. And so, yeah, it's one of those things where I personally put guilt on myself, but he didn't. And that's all that matters. Like,
Right.
yeah.
So then you went and did
Home
about 5
hemo.
years. No, not home hemo.
Oh, no, in
You
center.
did in center for about 4.5 to 5 years, right?
Yeah.
And then go ahead and tell us about the story of when you got that call about your next kidney.
So, well, I got a couple calls, and they were kind of fun. I know I told this story before about the 31-year-old male who died in prison, and that one was kind of fun. And then I also got another call about an older donor, and at that age, I was so young. I was looking at 27, 28, and so I wasn't willing to take that risk at that time, even though it had been forever on in-center. And
that's got to be a really hard choice.
Yeah.
Of the opportunity of having a kidney and having to tone it down.
Yeah.
Because, well, one, your age, and, you know, like Jim was saying, it's all up to the recipient of, you know, if you get offered one, do you take it?
Yeah, at what point do you take it?
And everybody on dialysis needs to really sit down and think and kind of have a go-to of, okay, we're going to accept this, and this, but we are not going to accept this and this.
Yep.
And, you know, kind of get educated on it while the emotions aren't flowing, and know that, okay, we are going to accept this and we're going to not accept this. Or, you know what, if one comes, we take it no matter what.
Yeah, and like at this point, I've had 2 transplants, so my antibodies are through the roof.
No, you only had 1 at that time.
No, I'm saying in my life right now.
Right.
But I'm saying my antibodies are so high at this point, I would probably be willing to take almost any kidney they offered me, because getting a match for me at this point would be crazy difficult.
See, and we'll go into that match thing a little bit. So every single time that you introduce a foreign object into your body, your body kind of protects itself and makes it so that you can't have that again. So like every time you have a blood transfusion, your body goes into defense mode and accepts that, or
so kind of how I heard it, which I'm not exactly sure, but this is how I heard it, that once a person puts their blood, you accept their blood into your body, everything that they've built an antibody against, that's in their surroundings. For example, when I got my brother's kidney, everything that's in his surroundings, his allergies, everything he breathes in, the kind of foods he eats, everything like that, my body had to build up a tolerance to that. And so my body got stronger to fight all those things off so they didn't affect me in a negative way. And so those antibodies went higher. And so after that, I was told that I probably wouldn't be able to get another Utah kidney, because my body had now adjusted. Yeah. And so my body would have an easy time just going in there and rejecting it, because all those things aren't going to bother it, and my body's just going to take it out. So my second donor was most likely out of state.
Okay. So, and that's the hard thing, especially as a caretaker or the spouse or anything like that, where we would take her into the hospital, and if you're a kidney patient, you know your blood count number is going to be low.
Yeah.
And what is that go-to number where you accept a transfusion? And it's like you debate and you hold off, because you know every single time you have a transfusion, your body builds up a little bit more defense.
Yep.
So like, say, before transplant, before any of that stuff, let's say you're at 75% that that's your antibody
level.
Antibody.
Yeah.
And every time you have a transfusion, it goes up by 0.3 or 0.1. And just that day that you were life flighted, you had...
I had like 7.
Like 7, 8.
Yeah.
And then you also had plasmapheresis. So
that made a big difference.
Would have been... That was like 8 bags, wasn't it? Was that all one person,
6,
or was that...
I think 6 bags, but they were all from different people. So
well, that's what I mean, is if they were all from different people,
yeah,
then you would have built up antibodies from 8 different people as well.
Well, no, each bag had probably 4 or 5 people in, and then I got 6 bags, because a person cannot donate that much plasma.
Right.
Yeah, so...
So, and like I said, that's the internal debate you have, is the doctors are saying, oh, she needs a Blindchick transfusion. But inside your mind, you're thinking, okay, can we give her Macera? Can we give her this? Can we build that up? And, of course, you take the blood transfusion. You do it. You know, you do what your team...
if it's necessary, you do it.
But it's that internal debate of, instead of this whole pool that we could get a transplant from, we just eliminated it by 3%.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't know exactly what percentage, if it's 3% or if it's like 0.1%. I'm not sure, but you are aware that every time you are getting an infusion or getting plasmapheresis, anything of that nature, it does change your antibody level.
Yeah, and like I said, it's hard because you have somebody that is being close to death, but it's like, how close though?
Yeah, and I really think if you need a blood transfusion, get one.
Absolutely. I mean, there's no question. It's just, like I said, that internal debate you have in your head of, man, let's test it one more time, you know?
Yep.
So, when you got that call for the second kidney, you were at your sister's and you were actually doing yard work, right?
I was actually at my younger sister's, and her name is Christina, and we were actually putting down pavers in her backyard, and we were putting these pavers down around a fire pit, and it started raining, and so we just got covered in the rain, and we were just having such a fun time. I got my fingers smashed between two pavers, and of course, because I'm really clumsy, and we were just having so much fun. And then it got to the point where it was raining so much that we all ran inside, and when we ran inside, I got this phone call, and it was a number I didn't know, and so I'm internally debating, do you answer that, or do you just quiet that, you know? And for some reason, I was just like, I gotta answer it. So I answered it, and I had actually gone into the bathroom, and so I answered the phone on the toilet, which is crazy, right? I hope everybody's done that, but I answered the phone on the toilet. And the lady asked me, is this Christina? And I said, yes. And she said, we have a match for you. We need you to get down here as soon as possible. And I just sat there in awe for probably like 15, 20 minutes just because I was just floored. And I just didn't expect that call because it just felt like it was going to continue forever. And so I hang up with her, and I wash my hands and everything, and I go out to the living room, and my daughter's there, my sister's there, her husband's there, and at least a couple of their kids. And I just stood there, probably with the blankest look on my face, and just said, hey, I just got a call for a kidney. And my sister says, no, you didn't. That's not funny. And I was like, no, I really just got a call for a kidney. It's time to go. And then as soon as they kind of realized it was real, we all freaked out for a while. We got in the car and drove right to my parents' house and went and told them and just got crazy excited. And I literally went straight to the hospital. And I got myself a kidney.
And this one was at Mountain, right?
Yeah, they both were.
Oh, okay. All right. So if you don't know, in Utah, there's two main hospitals. Mountain, so IHC. And then U of U, is that associated with or is it just U of U? U of U Medicine?
To be honest, I'm not sure.
Okay, so there's University of Utah, which if you're a Utes fan, that's kind of what it's associated with. And so that's one of the main hospitals. And then IHC. IHC is everywhere, I think. Or at least in the western states. But so you get down there, you have the surgery.
Yeah.
How long did that one take you to...
Reject.
No, recover from.
Oh, recover.
Yeah.
So I'm a very stubborn person, and you usually stay in the hospital about 6 to 7 weeks. After my first one, my brother is a huge Chicago Bears fan, and so we pushed ourselves to be home in 3 days so he could watch the Chicago Bears game, and we accomplished that goal. And then on the second one, I would say it was about 3 days as well.
Okay. All right, so right after you got this kidney, I kind of entered the picture.
Yeah.
We started dating, all that stuff.
Well, that's why I started realizing, hey, I feel good. I have a kidney. I need to really live my life.
I'd like to think it was my charm and my message that just kind of, hey, I got to meet this guy. So
yeah,
we'll just go with that.
Of course, yeah.
You know, So, all right, so you rejected that one. They did absolutely everything they could to save it.
We did.
Almost to the point where we both had to talk about, okay, so we're trying to save it, but we're pumping her full of so many chemicals.
Yeah, it was tough.
What damage are we doing to everything else? You know, she's still young. You know, before this, she was mid-30s.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was like, okay, so at what point do we raise our hands? She was getting sick, and a cold would put her in bed for like 2 months.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was finally to the point where we were just like, okay, time to end this.
Yep, we just had to at that point.
That's when we were introduced to...
That's when we kind of really started pushing and went to PD in that. But that kidney... So I rejected both kidneys to the point where they removed them. So all I have right now is my native kidneys, and they are both about the size of quarters. And
shriveled up little raisins.
Yep, and nothing else. So I have no kidney function at all. But after we rejected that, we found nephritis in both kidneys. So we're kind of at a stalemate at this point. I am switching over to University of Utah in hopes that one of those amazing doctors may have seen my condition before, and they may know how to help me not reject again. But at home dialysis, that's why it was so important for me, because they may tell me no. And if that's the case, I'm fine doing dialysis, because I'm doing it at home and I feel so much better.
And I think even PD and home hemo,
yes,
you can fine-tune it to where you can almost make it act as if you have a kidney. Of course, it isn't the same thing.
Yeah, and you're still going to have your downfalls where you got to go in for a silly little surgery, and you're going to have those moments. You're just going to feel so much better along the way.
Right. Okay, so... And that's kind of the stalemate that we're at right now, because, you know, I've told Christina that I would donate to her in a second or do the chain, and we're kind of at a stalemate. So if you're a doctor or a nurse, pass our story on to your doctors and say, hey, we know this chick, Christina Gilchrist, and we want you to find out what the hell disease she has.
Yeah, they thought forever I had C3 globin, because that's how it reacts so closely to that. But then I was able to get into a research study, and I don't have that.
And so if you heard about any research studies as well, reach out to us, because we would love to find out what this actually is.
Yep,
because
sure.
If we can find out what it is, then maybe we can get a kidney that lasts, you know, we hear stories of kidneys lasting 20, 30 years. And it's like, that's amazing. You know, and the average time is, what, 10, 15?
They say for a cadaveric transplant, it's about 10 to 15. Okay. And for a living donor transplant, it's about 15. It can be up to 30.
See,
but they really don't like to give you that year span, because everybody is so different.
I think it all depends on how healthy you are and how much you take care of yourself as well. And, you know, so again, if you're a doctor, find out what the hell she has.
And like home dialysis is such an amazing tool. But I think everybody needs to make up their mind on their own. And please, 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 anybody on dialysis, explore transplant and explore the idea of getting a kidney, because it truly is. You've got a kidney that is working 24/7. You will obviously feel a lot better. So definitely make your choice on your own, but please consider.
I'm on the opinion that no matter what, you get on the transplant list, because you can always say no. But you can't say yes unless you're on it.
Yeah.
So, all right, so we're going to wrap this up. Just wanted to express again, Lisa, your story was amazing.
Amazing.
And the fact that somebody would go through all of that for just a complete stranger. You know, I can totally understand the family thing, and the, you know, that is a little bit more understandable. but to do it for a complete stranger.
And it's funny because...
Got to do blood pressure again.
Yep.
So we're going to go ahead and wrap this up because she's almost done with dialysis. So we will see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
And see you guys.
Okay.
Hey, guys. Welcome to Christina's Crazy Corner. This week we have, of course, my beautiful Tyler. We have amazing Amber. And for the first time, we have Holston. How you doing, Holston?
Good.
Good. I'm excited to hear what you think about this. So, Tyler, take it away.
Alright, so this week I decided just to do some interesting unknown facts that they're just really odd. Like some of them you wouldn't think are like a thing.
Okay, let's hear it.
Awesome.
Alright, for the first one, it's hot water will turn into ice faster than cold water.
Ooh, I actually knew that. That too.
Why?
More water, it freezes faster.
I didn't know that. Why?
It's just a scientific thing. Like the colder water it takes to freeze, and the hotter it is, the quicker it cools down.
Yeah,
How?
it's because the cold water is already cold, so it has to take time to pass through because cold goes through heat faster.
Okay. Okay.
Travel
That's
speed
cool.
faster.
What do you think of that, Holston?
I thought it was pretty cool. I already kind of knew it, but...
Okay. Okay, good.
Alright.
It's a good one. We're starting off with easy weird facts.
Alright, the next one. The Mona Lisa has no eyebrows.
What the?
I never knew that.
Oh my gosh, I've
what?
never noticed.
Actually, never noticed, yeah.
We're all blind. Welcome to the group, guys.
Awesome.
Okay, Ty.
Alright. So the sentence, the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog, uses every letter in the English language.
It uses the entire alphabet?
Mm-hmm.
What the?
That's why you'd have to type it so many times when you're learning to type, because you hit every single key.
Oh, that's interesting.
So that is something that you've known, Amber? Like you had to actually do that?
Yeah. When I was in junior high, and I actually took typing in a
Wow.
computer class. Yeah, that was one of the many sentences we had to type, but that one specifically because it includes every letter of the alphabet.
That is insane. That's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Alright. The next one is Coca-Cola was originally green.
What?
I didn't know that.
It's because
I
of the
thought it was
chemical
still brown.
components.
No, classic red, like their logo,
yeah.
or the drink itself. The logo or
The
the
drink
Now I
itself
need to
was
know.
originally green.
So, probably the label? Or...
No,
the
I'm
label.
I'm thinking maybe because
I
it's
don't know.
toxic.
It was
The
green.
liquid was originally
That's
green.
weird.
Weird.
Very.
Yeah, I'm thinking because it's made of poison.
It's because of the chemical components in it. How it reacted with each other, it made the actual liquid green.
So do they dye it?
No, it isn't now because they don't use the same chemicals. Like they used cocaine back in the day. They don't use that
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
Actual Coke.
That's
Alright.
cool.
The most common name in the world, guess what it is?
Oh my gosh, I don't even know. It's Amber.
It's not Amber. Maybe Anne or Amy or
John.
John. Yeah.
It's Mohammed.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we should have
I
known
can
that
see
one.
that.
I can see that too. Dang it. John didn't win. That's crazy.
Because we're thinking just locally, U.S. You gotta think globally.
Yeah, it's true. We just showed how U.S. we are.
We did.
Yeah.
All right. The name of all the continents end with the same letter that they start with.
Wait.
Oh my gosh.
Asia?
Asia?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
How many more can you say, Amber? All I have is Asia. I'm so sad to see that. Holston, Austin, how many continents do you know?
How many continents are there?
Forget.
I should have learned this. I remember.
Welcome to United States Public School.
Yes,
Wait, 7.
there are 7.
Okay.
Yeah. Isn't one
know that.
Antarctica? Winner. What?
You know, like the 2 easiest.
Africa? No.
That is not.
Sorry, Africa. Okay, that's all I got. Do you got them, Ty?
I don't know all of them. But I also definitely know some of them.
She's laughing at us, and she doesn't know all of them. Which ones do you know?
Hey, I didn't take history last year, okay?
Oh my gosh, that's brilliant. Okay, well, we're all dum-dums when it comes to continents.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Ty.
All right. You can't kill yourself by holding your breath. It is
Because
physically
once
impossible.
you passed out, your body would breathe on its own.
breathe again. Yep.
So there has to be something physically restraining you from being able to start breathing again.
Yeah,
And you know what? You guys are wrong on the continent thing, because it's North America and South America. I mean, if you just did Americas.
Okay, wait. Are they continents?
Asia and Africa.
North America
Europe.
and South America are continents, but the thing is,
Oh,
they're
maybe
talking,
they're just going with
they're
America.
talking about America, just the word America.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's North and South. Those don't really matter.
If you are including the Americas and you just did like America, that's basically.
All right.
Good point, Holston. Good point.
Keep on going.
Okay,
All
Ty.
right. The Guinness Book of World Records holds the record for being the book most often stolen from public libraries.
Wow.
What do you think?
I didn't really understand
The book most often stolen from public libraries.
Oh.
That is crazy.
The Bible.
Okay, I just want to know. I want to know who studied that. Like, who found that out? Did they follow people out of the? Oh no, I guess in their records it would show.
Yeah. It would show for the books. Go
Yep.
listen.
Dum again.
So it's not the Bible. Is
No.
it?
Is the Bible at public libraries?
Yeah.
Dictionary?
I just thought it was at hotels.
No, the dictionary is stupid. Why would you steal that?
You can know every word in.
I don't think people care enough. They make up their own words now, like LOL, LMAO. Like,
Yeah, it's true.
they don't care.
We have to know. What is this book?
The Book of World Records.
The Guinness Book of World Records.
That is
Oh, yeah.
record for a particular book stolen at the library, and I can keep guessing which book that is. Not
Oh.
the Guinness.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. No, it is the Guinness Book of World Records.
Oh my goodness. I bet there's a record for that.
I love that. Okay, Ty, what's next?
All right. Each king in the deck of playing cards represents a great king from history. The spades represents King David. The clubs represent Alexander the Great. Hearts represents Charlemagne. I don't know what the heck that name is.
Okay.
And then diamonds represents Julius Caesar.
Why? How did they determine that?
The people who made the first deck.
They were into kings.
Hey, why
What
why
about
are
the queens then?
Yeah, what about the queens? That's what I was thinking.
Probably.
They're there.
They were there, just not remembered.
Okay.
For another day. Another thing I have to Google now.
Yeah.
So, this is actually interesting.
Okay.
All right, give me just a second, sorry. But so if
Tyler
it's
just got a phone call and so
probably from my boss, so
Oh, maybe a boss, huh?
I think it was from my boss, but it's fine.
Okay.
And she's calling back.
She's calling again. Tyler's gonna get fired. She is absolutely going to get fired.
I'm kind of scared.
Get rid of it, girl. We got to keep going.
I can't!
What's more important, your job or Crazy Corner?
Oh my gosh, stop it.
Crazy corner.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she's... Okay, here we go.
Okay, if a statue of a person in the park on a horse has both front legs in the air, the person died in battle. If the horse has one front leg in the air, the person died as a result of wounds received in battle. If the horse has all four legs on the ground, the person died of natural causes.
Huh.
Wow. That's kind of insane.
Good to know.
Yeah, I never knew any of that. Huh.
Okay. This one's actually interesting. What do bulletproof vests, fire escapes, windshield wipers, and laser printers all have in common?
Detector?
And laser pointers?
Laser printers.
What the heck is that? What's a laser?
Like 3D printers.
Okay. Oh, a printer. Okay.
Laser
okay.
printer. Yeah.
Bulletproof vest too?
Yeah. I don't know. Tell us.
All invented by women.
Nice. What?
That is awesome. Wow. I like that one. Okay, queens. Like, we just got our shot.
Okay.
Nice.
This one is actually really weird. A snail can sleep for 3 years.
3 years?
Yeah, 3 years.
Oh my gosh.
I wish I could do that.
They dry out. I have proof.
I don't know. How do you know? Maybe they were at the end of their life.
Maybe they just wanted to die.
Yeah. Maybe it was just time for that little snail.
Yep.
Wow. I wonder if like a half an hour does them any good at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Ty.
All right. American Airlines saved $40,000 in 1987 by eliminating one olive from each salad served in first class.
Oh my. One olive.
Very weird. What?
That actually like explains a lot. Because now, do you even get an olive?
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've never actually flown first class. It was first class, right?
Yeah, I don't. Holston, have you flown first class?
What?
Holston, have you flown first class?
No, I don't
No?
think so. No.
Yeah,
We get
you'd
the-
know if you
We
did.
get the peanuts. We're in the peanut gallery.
Yeah, and even now they don't give the peanuts.
I don't know. We've gotten peanuts and Biscoff cookies. Those are delicious. They're the best.
Okay, Ty, go.
Okay. This one doesn't make sense, but it's kind of funny. The ant always falls over on its right side when intoxicated.
The ant? Like, we're talking little ants?
Yeah.
How do they get intoxicated?
People drop wine drops, I guess.
Oh, and they always fall to the right?
Apparently. I guess their little senses are like, well, no, this way.
Wow. How many people are giving ants alcohol?
People do weird things. Yep.
Yeah. Wow. Never thought about doing that, ever. Okay, Ty, go again.
All right. So the electric chair, guess what type of like job person invented it? Like,
Who invented the electric chair?
yes, what
was
job
his-
did they have?
Okay.
Job person?
Was he a criminal?
No.
Okay.
Was it like Thomas Edison or something? Didn't
No.
invent electricity, so
Nope.
maybe.
Nope. The electric chair invented it. They didn't use that for years.
So what about you, Holston? Any guesses?
I don't know. The only person that I think may have like made electricity, I don't know if it even is him. I would guess Thomas Edison.
No.
Nikola Tesla.
No.
That's a decent guess. I like that one.
It was invented by a dentist.
Oh.
Oh,
He's probably looking at all the patients in his chair, and he's like, I wish I could kill him. I wish I could kill him.
So we're going to do one more real fast. The cigarette lighter was actually invented before the match.
What?
Interesting.
Yeah. So much people use matches.
That's like so backwards.
Yep, the cigarette lighter was invented before matches. Huh. But that's all we have time for.
Yep. So we're out of time, guys. Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Bye.
Hey guys, welcome to Christina's Crazy Corner. Today is going to be the best crazy corner ever because we're at Beans and Brews, right?
Beans and Brews.
Yeah, and we all have coffee, so we're all happy, and we're all here in person. So tonight we have
Amber, Susie,
Tyler,
and you got me. So, I've heard that tonight's not going to be so funny. Let's see. No. Here we go, Ty.
Alright, so today we're talking about the Solder children, if you've ever heard of this case.
Never heard of this one.
Me neither.
Sounds familiar to me, actually.
Ooh.
I am obsessed with, like, crime podcasts.
I am too, but after I hear it, I, like, delete it out of my brain.
Yeah, sometimes that happens too.
Yeah.
I'll remember, like, halfway through. I'll be like, oh, yeah, them.
Yeah. Okay,
Alright,
Ty.
so this is actually a case about 5 children that went missing on Christmas Eve.
All 5 of them went missing together?
Well, all of them went missing at the same time. There's actually 10 children in total.
Is it in a family?
Yes, they're all the same family.
10 children?
And half of them went missing.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we're in Utah.
It was
when
19.
Is this and where is it?
Not in Utah. It was West Virginia, 1945.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's a lot of kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no DNA or anything.
All right. So during Christmas Eve, it talks about in here how they actually were just getting ready for bed, and it's basically going through everything, and that they were just getting ready for bed and stuff. But so apparently, stop it.
They're just getting ready for bed and stuff.
Okay.
They were getting ready for bed and stuff.
Stop it.
I would say, like,
Stop
brushing their teeth,
Yeah,
having
maybe-
a nice warm cup of milk.
Maybe Christmas pajamas.
I hate you guys. I quit this job.
See, I thought this was supposed to be dark, but Christmas? with
Yeah.
three siblings?
Okay.
That's a good Christmas. Okay, I'm sorry.
We've all been scolded. Go ahead.
Okay. So Jenny Solder was the mom. Jenny was woken up at 12:30 a.m. by a prank caller. The caller asked for someone who didn't live at the house and laughed in a way that Jenny would later recall as weird and unregular, and was drowned out by the clinking of glasses and background laughter, so she just thought it was some drunk guy at a bar that was probably intoxicated and just decided
You
to
know that guy is probably at the same Beans and Brewery that we're at right now. Keep going.
You're annoying. But so, a half an hour later, she was again woken to a loud thud. An object had landed on their roof.
It's Santa.
I remember this, and that's what I thought too when I heard that, but no.
And it rolled down the side of their house. And she just ignored it. And she eventually woke up for the 3rd time at 1 a.m.
What if it was Santa and he had rolled off the roof
And you
he
just-
was internally bleeding?
You just let
outside of
him
her-
go.
But you know what? I feel for this mom. She has 10 kids.
For everybody.
You have 10 kids. Like, something hits her roof.
True, but don't you
even
think?
care. Just
Don't you think
care.
maybe it was one of the kids like snuck out of
No,
bed?
if no
and-
one's screaming at that point, you go back to bed. You're done.
Good idea. Good idea.
Okay. So she was woken at about 1 a.m. again, but this time she smelled smoke.
Oh.
That might be a wake-upper.
The home office, which the father, George Sodders, it was his office, was on fire. Jenny ran to their bedroom to wake him up, and they dashed around trying to get all their children up. And so those who stayed awake late, the kids, were up in the attic. Access blocked by a burning staircase, so they weren't able to get up to the kids. He tried to he grabbed the phone and tried to call the fire department, but it wasn't working. The phone wasn't working at all.
So how did the drunk call her?
Well, it
had
after.
been working.
Oh, after the fire. I got you.
The fire might have stopped.
And the noise on
No,
the roof
it
could
was-
have been the kids in the attic.
Maybe,
There was kids in
but here's the thing. The two parents, the three eldest siblings, George, John, and Marion, and 2-year-old Sylvia escaped the burning house. One of the children ran to the neighbors to call the fire department, while George ran to the side to grab his ladder in order to climb to the attic to rescue the remaining kids.
Oh, good idea.
Well, the ladder wasn't in its usual position. It wasn't there resting against the side of the house. They didn't know where it was. Until later, it was actually found in a ditch.
Oh, wow.
Away from the house.
So someone knew kids were in the attic.
And then he tried to start one of his trucks to drive to the side of the house to get back up into the attic. It wouldn't start, though. The truck had actually just been looked at and said it was in perfect condition. He went to his other truck. That one also wasn't working. Both the trucks weren't working. But meanwhile, the fire brigade was severely understaffed due to both the time of the year and the fact most firefighters were serving overseas in the war. So, the fire chief, who was the only man working that night, could not drive the truck. Had to ring around to find other firemen.
Why can't he
So-
drive the truck?
Can you imagine?
Because he needs other people to help him be able to work the truck and get everything ready.
Oh my gosh.
It takes more than
So-
one. It's like a whole crew on those things. Yeah.
And so it was around an hour until the firemen got there. And their house had already burned to the ground. The 5 members of their families trapped inside. And so they went through the ashes. They were unable to find any trace of the 5 children. No bodies, no bones.
So the kids in the attic were not in the attic.
Well, they could hear them in the attic when the fire started. They're all freaking out. But so, they just thought that they probably would have passed out from all the smoke inhalation and stuff up there. But they didn't find any evidence that the kids were already still in the house. And so there's actually a lot of...
I wonder if it's possible for a fire to burn so much that it just ruins any evidence. Can the bodies burn and just
It would have to
disintegrate?
be...
Yeah, I've heard that you can't really burn bone.
It has to be over...
Well, they cremate people.
Yeah, but it's at
It's like thousands of degrees.
yeah.
It's not a normal
You could
house
not-
fire.
You could not replicate
So there
that.
should have been evidence for sure.
And so there was actually a lot of speculation on what happened to them. So 4 days after the fire, George Sauter bulldozed soil over the ashes of
Can you
the
say
burn.
bulldozed again?
Bulldozed.
One more time?
Bulldozed.
Oh, good job.
Stop it. Of his burned family home, intending to construct a memorial garden to his deceased children. Although the fire chief had instructed him to leave the site alone so the fire marshal's office could investigate the ruins further, George and Jenny couldn't stand the sight of their destroyed home and ignored his request. The next day, a hastily conducted inquest found the fire was caused by faulty wiring. But George remembered that he had just had
An electrician there. I remember that.
an
just had it all
electrician
fixed.
there for the Christmas
See, I
lights.
told you I'd remember halfway through.
And so it would have also cut all power to the house. It would have cut power to probably the neighborhood too. But every neighbor still had electricity. They still had electricity during the fire.
Yeah.
So there wasn't faulty wiring. One of the jury members who actually served on the inquest had a previous run-in with George that sparked further suspicion. He was a life insurance salesman who became annoyed when George rejected his business. And he said, and this is in quotes, "The house will go up in smoke and your children are going to be destroyed."
That's what
Yeah,
the
that's a little
insurance guy
sketchy.
said? Oh my God.
But so more suspicious evidence mounted up to suggest this was a case of arson. A telephone repairman inspected a hanging phone line that was connected to the house, and asserted that it had been deliberately cut, which would require someone to climb a 4.3 meter telegraph pole to reach a further 60 centimeters to reach the wire. In other words, it was really hard to get to.
Yeah.
So
not only did they dispatch 2 trucks, they took a ladder and tossed it in a ditch and climbed a huge telephone pole.
I was just about to talk about the ladder.
Okay.
The ladder was found thrown in an embankment 20 meters from the house. And
How far is 20 meters?
20 meters?
Yeah.
It's 3 feet per meter.
Oh, so that's
So 60
60 feet.
10 kids, though. They could play with a ladder. Just saying.
Touche.
True.
We would
But-
drag a ladder. If there's a ladder.
It's just a ladder to
It
do
was
tons of
just-
stuff.
Yeah,
When
those things are handy.
Yeah.
But so, there actually, as the case started to get out there was actually a bus driver who serviced the route that passed the Sauter house and told the police he had seen a group of people throwing balls of fire at the house.
Oh.
what the hell?
No, that one's
Like the
hard to
group of
explain.
kids, or
No, not a group of kids, people.
Like balls
like-
of fire, like firework.
Like,
The sound she was hearing hit the
Yeah,
roof.
must
that's
have
what I
been.
was just about to say. Jenny Sauter recalled being woken by a thud on the roof, and months later, as the snow melted, 2-year-old Sylvia was playing in the yard when she found a hard green rubber ball. George Sauter had seen this before. It was a pineapple bomb.
Oh, jeez.
So they were deliberately attacked beforehand as well.
oh my god!
Wow.
And so she found, as Jenny Sauter was actually sifting through the remains, she found kitchen appliances that kept their shape. Yet the family were told the fire department that the fire was hot enough to burn their children to a point where no bones remained.
But
which,
appliances made it.
that couldn't have been possible.
Maybe it depends on which room, though, too. Like,
higher-
one
No, the
area
whole
burned
house went
more
down,
than
though.
the other
Yeah.
one did.
The heat does
Yeah.
rise and the higher.
And as the house crumbles, the kitchen could have burnt, but not as badly as another room, or
Yeah.
not as hot as
Yeah.
the room.
She actually contacted a local crematorium about it to inquire about this and was told a 2-hour fire burning at 1100 degrees Celsius would still leave human bones intact.
So my question is, I wonder if they gave the police enough time before bulldozing the house to actually look for the remains.
Yeah, and like,
Because if he got right on the bulldozer, that
and
would
when
make
he
it.
did get on the bulldozer, like, how did they find it? They found all this stuff underneath what he bulldozed away.
Well, the thing is, they would have been able to still thoroughly search the soil. They would have sifted through everything.
They still would have been able to
before-
find.
They would have still been able to find at least one piece of evidence, which they
Gotcha.
never did. So, after all that happened, there were reportedly sightings of the children outside of the house. They were actually...
Like that night?
That night, a woman claimed to have actually witnessed the fire and saw the children in a passing car.
Oh.
So how many total children are gone?
5.
5. And 5
5
are still
children.
got out.
Yes.
Okay.
Whoa.
But so the 5 are then
So I had like 8 siblings growing up. Are we? There is a chance. Like, we would have been dumb enough to set up like 4 of them up in an attic and
Right.
set up a fire, and like we would have been like, haha, we're gonna move the ladder, and we're gonna turn these trucks off. Like, is there anything pointing to the siblings?
No, there's
Right.
nothing. They had no idea about it because one of the older siblings, she's 17, the oldest sister, actually put the younger ones to bed. And she was the one that made sure that they were all in bed. And that was, but then they decided to stay up. So the older siblings were the ones that got out of the house, and they wouldn't have done that, besides the 2-year-old Sylvia. She also got out of the house because of her parents got hurt. So
Yeah.
it was the younger children that actually were in the attic. That
That's
ones
so
that would
sad.
most likely think of doing something like that.
Okay, so where does this go? Do we ever find them?
No. There are a lot of sightings though. The parents actually got sent a letter, a picture of a man that they suspected was one of their children grown up.
Whoa.
But so the mom and the dad they both passed away before even being able to know if their children were still alive or not. The George died beforehand, and
How old was he?
he died in 1969. It doesn't
So
say
about
exactly.
20 years later.
Yeah, about 20 years later. And Jenny actually, after that, she actually dressed in black for the remainder of her life. She didn't wear anything else.
So would I. I can't even imagine.
She spent her life tending to the memorial garden at the site of the fire, and she died in 1989.
Oh gosh, she lived a long time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just the not knowing. I mean,
Yeah.
that's awful.
Okay, let's all speculate. What do we think? Where do we think the kids are? Do we think they're
Devil's
alive?
advocate a little bit. On the flip side, I wondered about the parents because they got right in there with the bulldozer. Like, hey, we have too many kids. Let's
Yeah, that's
decrease
kind of
those
a
numbers.
questionable thing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that's
I don't know.
questionable. But did they know
But
that there
they
was only
also
one
suspected-
fireman on duty?
But they also suspected that the father was involved in the mafia. That
Oh,
something
there's our
happened
answer.
there.
That answers everything. Everything. We know it all now.
But they said that he had some very bad people coming after him.
So that explains it all. Right there. We know it.
They threw green balls
The
at
green
the
balls
house?
at the house and just, yeah.
All right, well, that one's insane. So, all
I
right,
just feel
guys.
so bad for that mama. Oh, that's horrible.
Poor mama. Okay, guys, well, we are done with time. So, thanks for coming. We'll talk to you later. Bye. Hi, guys. This is Christina's Crazy Corner, and today we have a newbie. I'm super excited. She is all the way from Florida. Her name is Tiff. How are you, Tiff?
Good. How is everyone?
You sound so happy. It's so cute. I love it. I love it. I'm so excited. And we also have Susie.
Hi, guys.
And of course, we have Tyler J.
Hi.
Okay, Ty, what do we
That
got
was
for today?
Not a happy high.
Hi.
Enthusiasm.
Hi!
That's better. Got this.
Okay, so today we're going to be talking about some of the craziest cat facts that you probably don't know.
Cat facts.
I just watched a documentary. I know everything.
I did too.
Oh.
On Netflix.
Yes, same.
What is it? Is the info from the documentary? or
No,
something
it's
else?
from Animal
So
Health.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay, let's do it.
let's do it.
Okay, so unlike dogs, cats don't have a sweet tooth. This could be due to a mutation in a key taste receptor.
Okay, so are we talking literally a tooth, or are we talking like wanting sweets?
Sweets, like candy.
They don't like
Really?
sweets, huh?
They
So
don't
if
like
you
sweets.
put like chocolate down, they're not gonna go for it?
No, they're not.
I never do.
Huh, that's I wonder if you've tried. They never do.
Had cats and they never go for the treats, but the dogs do.
I have had a cat
dogs
go
do.
for treats.
Oh, you have?
Lemmy thinks he's a dog.
Like
So.
sweet treats?
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
cookies or
Like the
something?
kids' candy.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah, he
Never
goes for
seen
it all.
yeah.
He had a mutation
But he
or
also
something.
like rides in the car, and
Yeah.
he thinks he's a dog.
He's a dog.
He is
He's
a
half
crazy
dog.
He's a
I don't know.
crazy cat.
But most of them know, huh?
He's a dog in a cat's body.
That's how he feels. This is how he identifies.
Okay, what's next?
Alright, so on average, cats spend 2/3 of every day sleeping and use 1/3 of their awake time cleaning themselves.
So all they do is sleep and clean? That sounds awful.
Well, that's only 1/3 of their wake time. The 2/3 of their wake time, they do whatever.
Oh. No, 2/3 of their time is spent sleeping.
So how many
2/3 of
cats does
everyday
everyone
sleeping
here have?
and use 1/3 of their awake time.
Ah,
1/3 of their
okay.
weight. How many cats does everyone have?
One? Okay, what about
And
you,
guys?
Sus?
4.
We have 4 as well.
Yes, I'm not the only one.
4.
It's crazy.
Yes.
So that means if 1/3, how long do they sleep?
So they sleep for 2/3 of their day.
Oh my gosh.
That is insane.
Mine sleeps for more. She's 17.
Oh,
Understandable.
So she just sleeps at this point.
I'm 17 too. I sleep a lot.
It's a teenager and an old cat thing.
Exactly.
That's so funny.
You guys want to get it?
So Miley is our old cat, and she sleeps a lot too. And she spends the rest of her time knocking over drinks. Yeah. That's her
Excellent.
hobby. Yeah.
Your cats have
They
some
have
neat
crazy
talents.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Next one. The technical term for a hairball is a bezoar.
A bezoar, like in Harry Potter.
Bezoar.
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 Bezoar. Bezoar.
I like that better than hairball.
Yeah, I like that too. Go get your bezoar and get it out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Okay.
All right. The next one. A group of cats is called a clouder.
Clouder?
This was not on the documentary.
Who came up with that one? Clouder. Look, there's a bunch of cats over there. It's Clouder.
Yeah.
It's Clouder right there.
It's like a cloudy day, but with cats.
Yeah. Gosh.
All
Clouder.
right. Next one. Cats can be left pod or right pod. Female cats tend to be right pod, while male cats are usually left pod. Interestingly, left-handed humans also tend to be male.
Oh, that's interesting.
Okay, so I got a couple things. One, like, why do they need to be right or left-handed?
Because, like, if they start jumping, they put one paw up first.
Well, when they knock over cups, they gotta have a dominant one.
Okay, and then I've always thought it was really weird that me and all my sisters married guys with that are left-handed.
Wow.
And all our brothers are right-handed.
Wow. Oh, wow.
All of our husbands are left-handed.
Wow.
So,
Isn't left hand kind of rare?
I guess
I don't
not.
know a lot of left-handed people.
She said more men are left-handed.
That's
Well,
still rare, though.
maybe it's still rare.
Yeah.
Good call.
Huh.
Good call. Okay, keep going.
Okay. Cats make about 100 different sounds, while dogs make only about 10.
Are cats smarter?
I think they are. They
I
basically
think they feel like they're smarter. They just don't care.
they can take care of themselves. Like, what are humans for?
Yeah.
Just to put the food in a bowl.
Yeah.
That's it.
We'll get to that part.
Okay.
But the next one actually is it. A cat's brain is biologically more similar to a human brain than it is to a dog's.
Cats are smarter.
Both humans and cats have identical regions in their brains that are responsible for emotions.
Whoa, so your cat, like,
Can get
feels
sad.
sad or happy?
They can get depression.
Yeah.
That's actually a thing.
Lemmy gets angry, for sure.
So does Dusky Boy.
Duskis.
He went through a phase, but he's, like, grown out of it now. And now he's, like, old man Dusky.
Well, no, he still gets pissed off if I move wrong.
Well, yeah.
Don't move.
Yeah,
My kid
exactly.
just gets
That's your
really sad
fault.
When I'm on these long trips.
She does.
Aw.
And then they like retaliate. They'll start peeing everywhere, and they're yeah.
She just expects a lot of love when I get home.
Like we had
That's
dogs
cute.
come over, and all of a sudden everyone peed all over the house because they weren't happy about it. So,
And you have dogs as well.
yeah, it
That's
just wasn't
the
our
funny
dogs.
part.
They're particular for sure.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
T.
The oldest pet cat was found in a 9,500-year-old grave on the Mediterranean island of Cyprus. Contrary to popular cat facts, this predates Egyptian pet cats by 4,000 years.
That was on the documentary.
What?
Yeah. They've been around a lot longer than we thought.
As a pet, right?
Uh-huh. It was
Well,
buried
that's-
with someone, they said. They found one in someone's grave, like with them.
Oh my gosh. Why were they digging this person up?
I don't know. It's a whole nother
Let's
topic.
just leave them alone. My goodness.
They
Okay.
found a cat mummy.
All right. Cats are North America's most popular pets. Cats
Really?
outnumber dogs 73 million to 63
serious?
million.
Wow.
Over 30% of North American homes have a cat.
I think
Wow.
cats are kind of easier because you don't have to walk them. You don't have to, you know what I mean? You feed
They're
them and they do their
self-sufficient.
thing. It's just,
It seems like
I could
most
totally
people
see that.
do not like cats, though. The stigma's out there. Not
Yeah.
cats, you know?
Not,
Well, you
people
don't.
I know.
You don't have to clean them. You don't have to groom them most of the time. If you have like
Yeah.
a
they're
long-haired
just
cat,
fine.
then that's just a nightmare.
Yeah.
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 Then you
there.
just have to shave them in the summer.
Yeah.
So I think they're essentially easier,
They
in
are
my
easier,
opinion.
But I thought that society people favored dogs over cats, but
Yeah, that's very interesting.
yeah, very interesting.
Don't listen, Moose. You're gonna just be sad. Okay.
We love our puppies
We
too.
prefer you. Okay, Ty.
All right. Some cats have survived falls over 65 feet. Their eyes and balance organs in the inner ear help cats to right themselves in midair and land on their feet.
Yeah.
Their eyes and ears?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's pretty freaking cool.
And they can like flip midair, just land on their feet.
Yep.
Yeah.
And a little boy threw a cat out of the St. Augustine Lighthouse.
Are you serious?
What?
There's a fun Florida fact.
Did the
cat survive?
live?
I can't remember. I think
Was it your little boy?
No, it was
Okay.
years and years ago when the lighthouse was in operation.
Just
It's one
kidding.
of the stories when you go up in it. That the little brother got mad at the little sister and threw a cat off it.
What did the cat do?
And I think the cat lived. If I remember right, the cat lived.
I certainly
Oh
hope
my
so.
gosh.
Yeah.
And he could come back with his other 8 lives and terrorize the little boy.
And did the child get a timeout?
I don't know. It was like in the 1800s.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Dang. Okay, T.
All right. The oldest cat to give birth did so at age 30 with
No.
2 kittens.
Wow.
A cat can live to be 30 years old?
Yeah.
A house cat?
Is that cat years or is that like 30
What is
human years?
cat
Human years.
Is
Cat
there-
years, there's a cat years thing.
What type of cat lives to be 30 years? I'm very concerned all of a sudden.
You don't want your cat to live that long, do you? Let's be honest.
Oh my gosh, you're horrible. Tiff wants her cat to die.
No, I don't.
What's your cat's name?
Meowser.
Hey, Meowser. Don't let her feed you anymore. Okay?
Okay, I gotta tell a fun side story.
No.
It's awesome. Okay, she says no. Okay. She thought it was the end of time for her cat. And she took it in and to have her put down. And they were like, no, she's a spring chicken. She's good. She's fine. So I think she just thought she was getting
Maybe
there,
you,
and then
like-
she wasn't.
Well, okay,
And
so...
then...
You're a preemptive killer.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Watch out, Nate.
No,
So
but she's
we
so
moved
old.
into a new house,
She's like, she
and the
thought
cat
she was
just-
old.
We had a carpet, and the cat started going in every single room.
Okay.
Okay, and I had another cat that happened to, and she ended up having cancer, and we had to put her down. So I thought
So
we
she
were
just
doing round
prepared
2.
herself, kind of,
Oh,
and took
okay.
her
To do
in,
this.
and they're like,
But
no, she's
fine.
good. She
And
just
I
doesn't
love her.
like
She sleeps by
the
my
new
head
house.
every night.
Yeah.
Right
Not
next
to
to
make
my
it
pillow.
sound like she was doing it on purpose, but they were like, no, she's fine. She's young. She's gonna live forever. She actually
Yeah, I
might.
just never thought 30.
Yeah.
I just like thinking you were doing it on purpose. Because why not?
Yeah.
No, I actually love her a lot. And
Yeah.
she's a really good kitty. When she's not going in on your brand new carpet, brand new house, no one had lived there before, brand new.
So it wasn't cancer. It was just cat attitude.
She was making
angry.
everybody know this is my house.
Yeah, we had to rip all the
yeah.
carpet out. We now have wood floors.
Oh, wow.
But
That's a
she's-
good way to go
It
anyways.
is. Carpet's
Yeah, my
gross.
whole house is
Carpet's
wood floor.
disgusting.
How old is she?
17.
17.
So she's got a lot of years left.
Okay, T.
Okay. So, a female cat is called a queen or a molly.
Oh, that's cute.
Queen Molly.
Queen or a molly.
Yeah, but I want both.
Queen Molly.
Yeah.
For the win.
Queen Mouser.
Queen Mouser.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's good, yeah.
All right. Cats are highly sensitive to vibrations and may be able to detect earthquake tremors 10 or 15 minutes before humans can.
So if your cat starts going bananas, just
You know.
prepare.
Yeah.
Get to safety. Take
Okay.
your cat with you.
My cat's always bananas, though. So.
Yeah.
All right. It's true. Blonde or brown color change in Siamese kittens depends on their body temperature. Siamese cats carry albino genes that work at a body temperature above 98 degrees Fahrenheit. If these kittens are left in a very warm room, their prints won't darken, and they will stay a creamy white all over.
Wow.
Wow.
So you can kind of determine their color, keeping them warm.
Or cold.
Wow.
Just freeze them for a couple weeks.
Now who's the cat
You
killer?
got the darkest cat you could ever have. And he's
Also,
dead.
it's mummified in ice cubes. But that's fine.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
All right. Like dogs, cats only sweat through their paws.
Oh, wow. I did
I
not know
knew
that.
that about dogs.
I didn't know that either. They sweat through their paws. Huh, that's why they get so dirty. You
I
gotta
don't
clean
know. Makes me wonder because Lemmy runs around and sometimes he's wet. And I'm like, are you hot? Are you sweaty?
Maybe.
What the heck is he getting into?
Maybe.
His whole body or just his paws?
Like the back of him.
Oh, yeah, he's into something.
He's,
Yeah.
But they like to sink a lot, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, T.
Alright. With enough water, cats can tolerate temperatures up to 133 degrees Fahrenheit.
Wow.
What?
No wonder my cat was okay when the AC died last week.
Yeah.
And you're dying, and the cat's like, come on, calm down. This is nothing.
In Florida. No AC.
When our AC died, the cats thought they were going to die.
Oh, yours did?
A couple years ago, and I walked in, and there was like a cat here laying on its side, a cat here. I'm like, oh my gosh, they were so dramatic.
That's funny.
It is
Our
funny.
dogs were dramatic, but the cat was fine.
Okay, Ty.
Alright. A cat's nose pad has a unique pattern of ridges, just like a human fingerprint.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's
Really?
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. You're like, one of my cats got into my food. I need a nose print done.
Nose prints for all of you.
Yes, nose prints for all of you.
A cat has no collarbone, meaning it can fit through any opening smaller than its head.
Oh,
That's awesome.
are you kidding?
Mm-hmm.
Smaller than its head.
Yep.
Yeah,
They just kind of wiggle through.
that kind of explains a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think in that documentary, they like did a circle of 4 inches, 3 inches, and they were trying to see, you know, how small they could fit through. It's insane. It doesn't look like they're going to fit, and they just go right through.
Wow. That is
Alright.
crazy.
A tower was built in Scotland for a cat named Towser in commemoration of her killing over 30,000 mice throughout her lifetime.
I like the name
my
Towser.
That is
I
so
know that
How
is
cute
really
is
cute.
that?
I wonder how big the tower is.
It was 4 feet high.
Yeah, it's like a tiny
It
cat
was
tower.
just perfect for her.
And it was built by a 6-year-old
And it
at the
was-
beach.
All right.
And she actually destroyed it the same day it was built.
Yeah, probably. But how many mice? That's, a,
30,000.
that's so many.
Who counted it?
I don't know.
How accurate were they?
I used to have a cat that would bring them to the doorstep as gifts.
Oh.
And yeah, I can see counting them.
Tyler,
That's the 54th
I get
one
them
today.
all the time.
Tyler gets bugs.
I've gotten a
lined
dead
up.
mouse too.
You
Oh, yeah.
have.
I've gotten
Oh, yeah.
birds.
And
You've
it's
gotten
gifts.
birds?
Like, you have to be appreciative.
Well, the thing is, actually, sometimes it can be gifts, or they think that you are unable to hunt,
Hunt
so
for
they're
yourself.
trying to teach you, or they're hunting for you.
Yeah.
All
Either-
this time, my cat just thought I was an
Yeah,
idiot.
either they think you're incapable of hunting, or they're thinking, okay, look, I caught this thing, now it's your turn. Yeah.
Not happening,
All right,
buddy.
this is going to be the last one.
Yeah.
All right, Isaac Newton invented the cat flap to stop his cat Spithead from opening the door to his darkroom and running light-sensitive experiments.
Okay, wait.
Okay.
I need a repeat.
Yeah.
Okay. Isaac Newton invented the cat flap
Like the door flap thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
to stop
Spithead.
his cat Spithead from opening the door to his darkroom and ruining light-sensitive experiments.
So the cat could come in,
So-
but it wouldn't.
Yeah.
But wouldn't
okay,
that
I
still
get you.
interrupt a darkroom?
No,
Yeah.
he made it to where you can lock it, I'm sure.
Well, I was thinking it
Or
wasn't
like
enough light to ruin
maybe if the cat went in the bottom, yeah, it's going to show
Maybe
very
it's
little
not enough.
light.
Oh, that's
so he
interesting.
can
Who
still
names
run
their
around.
cat Spithead?
it.
I know. I
What's
kind
up,
of like
Isaac?
it. I kind of like it. Get over here, Spithead.
Yeah.
I'm going to name my husband that from now on. Hey, Spithead.
Mike,
Come on. Yeah.
Sir Mike Spithead.
Yeah. That works perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, thank you for joining in, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.